What is going on, guys? And today I'm going to be doing my breakdown and review of episode 4. Now, I have not done this before. I've done breakdowns on the trailers, but not an official episode. And today I'm going to be making one. And so, guys, if you do enjoy this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe as always if you are new. And without any further ado, let's get into the breakdown and review. So, guys, overall, I enjoyed this episode. It wasn't bad. It's just, if this makes sense, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. Like, it was alright, but it just wasn't amazing. Now, I do think this was one of the best episodes of this season overall. Episode 1 and 2 is alright, but it's just, it's not really what we were expecting for season 3. So 3 was really good. It answered a lot of questions that we had regarding Unit Frontier, AJ, and David and all that. And then we get to episode 4, and I enjoyed it, but I just feel like some of the plot holes that were in this season, they just didn't really answer them. So at the beginning of the episode, we do see a flashback of Javier and David at the park, or a baseball practice thing. I don't know exactly what that's called, so correct me if I said it wrong. Anyways, we see them just playing, and then we see Javier just wrecking all the balls because he was a pro baseball player. And then after that whole scene is done, or towards the end, we do see that Javier, he's talking to David, and David was explaining how nobody treats him anymore, in current day of the flashback, and he was saying that he should go back to the army because he had respect there, all that. And then Javier, depending on what you said, he was convincing him that he shouldn't leave, should stay with the family. But so that was a pretty cool scene. We got some backstory between David and Javier, and maybe this is why David is so hard on everyone. Now, we're still unclear if David was actually able to go to the military, because from the beginning of episode 1 we had that flashback where their grandpa died, I'm pretty sure, and then the whole apocalypse started. So I'm not sure if David was gonna leave at that time, or he was already in the military and just came home. So we're not clear on that. Maybe we'll find out in episode 5, but I don't think that storyline matters too much. And then we get to the scene where David and Javier are in the jail cell. Long story short, they take David to go hang him. Spoiler. And then you have to find a way out with Javier. And obviously, as we all know, Javier did escape. And then we get back up to the apartment. Everyone's making a plan, how they're going to stop Joan and save David. And, depending on what you chose, I personally wanted David to die. But, over the course of the episode, I kind of wanted him to live, switched on him. And then fast forward, and we finally get to the scene with Javier, Clementine, and Lingard, I think that's his name. And from the trailer, we thought that we were going to get the location of AJ. Now, first, before anyone gets confused, I was confused when I was playing this, because remember, if you do remember in the trailer, we had that flashback with Clementine saving AJ, AJ was sitting up against a log. I did not get that flashback, and I was confused. I was like, oh wait, did they leave it out? But then I started reading the comments during my live stream, and I found out that to get that certain flashback, you had to have stayed with Kenny at the end of season 2. You needed the Kenny flashbacks to have this flashback. It's the same how in episode 1, depending on what ending you chose from season 2, you had a different flashback, for each storyline that you chose. And I had the storyline where I stayed at Wellington, so I had a different flashback. And then we get to the part where Lingard, he was saying that he doesn't want to live anymore. He just wants to kill himself. And then Clementine, she obviously doesn't care. She wants to know where AJ is, get him back. So she ignores that Lingard wants to end his life, and she keeps on asking where AJ is, where's AJ, where's AJ? And then Lingard offers a deal that if Javier or Clementine decides to put the needle into his arm to end Lingard's life, then he will reveal the location of AJ. But me not knowing, I chose the option where I don't have Lingard die, and then he did not tell me the location. But apparently, if you do have Lingard die, then he does tell you the location. So I will be making a video on that, where is AJ. I will be looking at other people's gameplay and maybe find out if he actually does tell you the location of AJ if he do decide to end his life. And then fast forward to I'm skipping to the important parts, by the way, if you're wondering. And then we get to the scene with Kate, Javier, and then Clementine and Gabe back in the back of this truck. And it is revealed that many people have speculated that it was that many people have speculated, and it's been pretty obvious that Gabe does have a crush on Clementine. So first of all, I am not sure, but hopefully in episode 5 we do get an explanation for that storyline of Gabe having a crush on Clementine. You know, since Clementine is not the main character of season 3, sadly, you know, we do not know how she is feeling, what her feelings are towards Gabe, but maybe we'll find out in episode 5, considering that it's the last episode of the season. So maybe in episode 5 that Gabe will actually man up and tell Clementine that he has a crush on her. I don't know, that will be episode 5, but it is revealed that Gabe does have a crush on Clementine. It is revealed that Kate does officially want to leave David, and she wants to be with Javier, and then they kiss. And then we get to the final climax scene of the episode with David being hanged and Joan being basically David is being hanged for all the things that he has done to, you know, betray the New Frontier, and then Joan takes out Trip and Ava up to the stage, I guess you want to call it, and she makes you choose if you want to save Ava or Trip. Now me, I did not know this was going to happen. I decided to save Ava, and then guess what happened? Ava died and Trip lived. So, you know, if you are wanting to have Ava live and you haven't played the episode yet, I recommend saving Trip so he can die and not Ava, but you know, that's all up to you. But anyways, so whichever one you save, Joan kills that person. And then you eventually get the option to shoot Joan or let her hang David, and so I chose to shoot Joan. And then the stool was knocked over, and then David was being hanged, but obviously then he was saved by Gabe and Javier. So Joan is dead, Ava died. That's the storyline that I had. Exactly right after this scene, we do have Kate coming into a New Frontier wherever this scene was taking place, and her being injured. I guess, you know, something went wrong. Once Kate did arrive into the scene, she did crash, and then that caused an explosion. Once the car did explode, or this explosion happened, the car is still there, but it is not completely blown up, so there is a possible chance that Kate is alive. And then we see walkers coming inside of a New Frontier, and everyone's going crazy, running around, and then the episode is finished. So a few things that I disliked about this episode is, one being, you know, depending on whatever you chose, you found out where AJ was, so I can't complain about that. But I am complaining about how, you know, they're taking it really slow with this AJ storyline. Like, we're getting him in flashbacks. Where's AJ? And then something else happens. Like, it's like they give AJ not screen time, because they're not showing him in present day, but they're giving AJ's storyline like 5 minutes of screen time. Like, they're taking it really slow with his storyline. When back in season 2 we thought AJ was going to be the biggest part of season 3, but he really isn't. That's like a side storyline, which I kind of disagree with, because I care about Clementine more than, you know, Javier's storyline. And then the second thing being is that I think Kay is alive. I don't think she's dead. I don't think they'll kill her off like that, like she crashed. And then, you know, I think that if she is gonna die, then I think it will be a scene where Javier goes up to the truck, you know, and then Kate just like on her last breath, and then she says "I love you," something like that, and then she dies. But I don't think she will be dying. I think she is alive, and that she will be saved by Javier, and I just think that she isn't passed out or something. That's why she did not leave the car. But guys, overall, that has been my breakdown and review of this episode. Now, if I were to rate this episode out of 5, I would give it a 3 out of 5, because I really enjoyed this episode, but there was some certain things that I, you know, felt were empty and didn't make sense. But overall, I like this episode. It was one of the best, if not the best. It was one of the best of the season, and I am really excited for episode 5. I will be making a prediction on when that will be releasing in May. You know exactly what day, even though I already did one. So guys, if you did enjoy this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you are new. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.